Stabbing attack on campus, a deadly scene as a man unleashes a sudden violent rampage at the university. Dramatic rescue. We hear from the strangers who free a family from raging floodwaters. A baby brought back to life with CPR. Terrifying turbulence, broken bones as passengers are violently tossed. Tonight, the lesson from a bloody scene on board. Hollywood Hacked, a popular Netflix show. The new season stolen and released on the web. Cyber thieves now threatening more studios, demanding ransom. And Inspiring America. Tom Brokaw with a moving reunion all these years later. Nightly News begins right now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. President Trump and the White House are speaking out about two controversial world leaders tonight in ways that are surprising some. The president is not ruling out applying his negotiating skills in a someday face-to-face meeting with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. And he's standing by his invitation for the Philippines president to visit the U.S., a leader whose brutal anti-drug campaign has raised serious human rights concerns. National correspondent Peter Alexander has details.
Tonight, President Trump with this alarming warning about North Korea.
So nobody's safe. We're probably not safe over here. If he gets the long-range missiles, we're not safe either.
That dire assessment after surprising comments to Bloomberg News, opening the door to a meeting with dictator Kim Jong-un. If it would be appropriate for me to meet with him, I would absolutely. I would be honored to do it. No sitting American president has ever met a North Korean leader.
This is probably the most brutal dictator in the entire world, and it would elevate his status well beyond what's deserved.
President Trump also crediting Kim Jong-un for being a shrewd survivor, eliminating rivals, including his uncle.
So obviously he's a pretty smart cookie.
Mr. Trump tonight defending his White House invitation to another brutal leader, President Duterte of the Philippines, who could help the U.S. isolate North Korea, even though Duterte is widely condemned for executing thousands of drug suspects in his own country.
Obviously, there's a human rights component that goes into all of this, and so it's a balance.
The president also creating confusion at home, misstating one of the key changes to the Republican health care plan, with a vote possible as early as this week.
Pre-existing conditions are in the bill, and I mandated. I said it has to be.
In fact, the latest amendment isn't nearly that clear and allows states to get a waiver that would let insurers charge people with pre-existing conditions more for coverage. The president tonight arguing the plan still isn't final. Punctuating President Trump's new round of interviews, this stunning comment about President Andrew Jackson.
He was really angry that he saw what was happening with regard to the Civil War.
But Jackson, himself a slave owner, died 16 years before the Civil War.
People don't ask that question, but why was there the Civil War? Why could that one not have been worked out?
He seemed to skirt around it when he said, why was that one not worked out? That one is slavery.
One more note on North Korea tonight. President Trump's suggestion of a meeting with Kim Jong-un comes as the North Koreans said today they're pushing their nuclear program to its, quote, maximum pace. Lester?
Peter Alexander at the White House tonight. Thank you. Now to late details of a series of attacks by a student wielding a knife on the Austin campus of the University of Texas. At least one student was stabbed to death and 3 others were injured in the attacks. The suspect, a junior at the university, was taken down by police, and officials say there is no ongoing threat on that sprawling campus. But there is obviously deep concern and anxiety as police try to determine a motive. NBC's Kerry Sanders with the latest tonight.
At the University of Texas today, a suspect in custody.
3 total patients, 2 are being transported, 1 DOS.
One student killed, another stabbed. Police say 2 others also assaulted by the suspect.
I saw him stab the guy, and that's when I realized that this was a real attack happening, and I just turned around and ran.
One bystander posted this after police wrestled with the suspect. Tonight, police have Kendricks J. White in custody. He's a 21-year-old student who also attends UT. What investigators cannot say is why he allegedly attacked.
The individual calmly walked around the plaza, the Gregory Gymnasium Plaza, and basically attacked these 4 unfortunate students there.
Friends of one victim tell NBC News they believe racial tensions on campus may have been a trigger to today's stabbings. Graffiti on fraternity houses in recent days causing anxiety.
It absolutely has to do with targeting Greek life. There's no doubt about it.
Police say they're aware of those allegations but have not determined a motive.
We recognize that there have been a significant number of discussions on social media about all kinds of things that we cannot confirm are true.
Tonight, the university has canceled all classes and is urging all students to call home to talk to their parents. Kerry Sanders, NBC News.
Texas is also one of several states hit by violent storms in the South and Midwest over the weekend. At least 15 people were killed, and the danger is not over this evening as storms move towards the Northeast. The same system that spawned deadly tornadoes and mass flooding. But amid the tragedy, one East Texas family is giving thanks after brave citizens leapt in to save their 2 young children from the rushing waters. Tonight, NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has more on that dramatic rescue.
With the floodwaters raging, panic set in. Inside this overturned pickup truck, the Ochiltree family with 2 young children.
I need a knife! Come on!
Half a dozen Good Samaritans, strangers frantically trying to free them.
Oh my God, it's a baby!
Among them, Corey Prox.
I can hear someone screaming from the inside, and when I heard that, I went in panic mode and jumped in. And I helped, to the best that I could.
4-month-old Marshall pulled out unconscious. Tom Mitchell, who shot this video, puts the phone in his pocket and starts CPR.
Come on, baby.
It was like, I've got to do something to save this kid.
A woman over his shoulder prays.
Let him breathe, Lord. You're smart. Let him breathe.
The baby breathes.
That one. Do this one.
Rescuers like Jaime Martinez working to resuscitate the boy and his sister, 18-month-old Addie, strapped in a car seat.
There she goes.
I did what I had to do, and that's all. I don't know.
The strangers also rescuing their parents, Philip and Emily.
Helpless, for sure.
That's the only thing I was worried about. Just getting my kids out of this vehicle with water in it. When they said, "Come on, Mama, we have the babies," I said, "Make sure you give them birth before you get me out of this vehicle." Thank you so much.
Late today, they were reunited at the hospital with one of those Good Samaritans. Strangers no more.
Today, the National Weather Service said that 2 of the 4 tornadoes that tore through East Texas were EF3s, packing winds of up to 165 miles an hour. The Ochiltree family had actually packed into their car to try and escape one storm when they ran right into another. Tonight, little Addie is in intensive care, fighting for her life. Lester.
What a dramatic and emotional story, Gabe. Thank you for bringing it to us. Now to a violent flight that left passengers bruised and bloodied, some with broken bones after wild turbulence struck before the pilots could even warn the passengers it was coming. There are incredible images from on board that plane, and tonight an important reminder when flying. Here's NBC's Kristen Dahlgren with more.
The extreme turbulence happened fast and without warning. Passengers on the Aeroflot flight from Moscow to Bangkok tossed about the cabin, landing in the aisle, leaving blood on overhead bins. One writing, "Blood everywhere, babies with head injuries. Thank God we are alive." According to the Russian embassy, at least 27 people suffered fractures and bruises when the Boeing 777 hit an air pocket. At least 3 had to undergo surgery. The embassy blaming injuries on passengers not wearing seatbelts, saying there was no time to warn them since the sky looked clear. So-called clear air turbulence is not uncommon.
Fast-moving air interact with much slower-moving air. It is not something that you can see on radar or really predict with a great amount of accuracy.
Planes are put through rigorous testing to ensure they can withstand rough skies. This wing test posted by Airbus. But according to the FAA, in 2016, 44 people were injured in turbulence. The main reason the captain usually warns passengers to keep seatbelts fastened, even when the seatbelt sign is off. Advice that could prevent this kind of chaos when turbulence comes out of the clear blue sky. Kristen Dahlgren, NBC News.
Tonight, a heads up for parents. The Trump administration is rolling back another Obama administration rule, one that was designed to make school lunches healthier. It was a program championed by former First Lady Michelle Obama, and while it required more fruits, veggies, and whole grains, many school districts complained the healthy foods were ending up in the trash. Here's NBC's Tom Costello.
Today's announcement takes aim at one of Michelle Obama's signature efforts to fight obesity.
This healthy eating stuff, it's here to stay.
In 2012, the government required healthy changes to school meals, more fruits and vegetables, slowly phasing in lower sodium levels, and requiring half of all breads and pastas to be whole grain. Eventually, all would be whole grain. But many school districts reported the healthy foods cost more, and kids often threw it all away. Today, at a school in Virginia, President Trump's new agriculture secretary announced he's loosening the rules.
Meals can't be nutritious if they aren't consumed, if they're put in the trash.
Under the Trump plan, the government will not cut sodium levels any further. It will also keep the current whole grain requirements and not demand that all pastas and breads go whole grain. Schools will also be allowed to offer 1% chocolate milk.
The big losers are the children, who will have less healthful meals. The winners will be the makers of processed foods and processed food products.
In the Los Angeles school district, where they make 700,000 meals a day, nutrition specialists say they found ways to make food taste better and avoid waste.
You will always find kids are going to be fickle with what they eat, and some days they will like it better than others.
The new rules take effect in the fall. The Trump administration insisting local school districts should make local decisions about what to feed their kids. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
Across the country today, thousands took to the streets for May Day protests. It's not unusual to see labor protests on May 1st, also known as May Day or International Workers' Day in some countries. But this year, many were also demonstrating against President Trump's policies, especially those regarding immigration. Tonight, there's more fallout from the scandals plaguing the Fox News channel following the departures of former network chief Roger Ailes and star anchor Bill O'Reilly after allegations of sexual harassment. Now comes word of another major departure for his role in the scandal. NBC's Ann Thompson has late details.
Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly, and now Fox News co-president Bill Shine. Ailes and O'Reilly gone after accusations of sexual harassment. Shine resigning today amid claims he enabled and covered up some of the alleged abuse, accusations he's denied. New York Magazine's Gabe Sherman broke the story.
Shine really was a continuation of the old Fox News culture. So today is a sign that the Murdochs are slowly deciding that they need to answer critics by turning a page.
21st Century Fox chairman Rupert Murdoch characterized Shine's resignation as sad, writing in an email to staff, "I know Bill was respected and liked by everybody at Fox News." Not everybody. In her lawsuit, Fox contributor Julie Roginski says Shine aided and abetted Ailes' acts of retaliation and harassment. Andrea Tantaros, once a member of the Five, in her suit alleges Shine told her that Ailes was a very powerful man and that she needed to let this one go. Shine had a powerful advocate in his corner, Fox star Sean Hannity. Tweeting last week as rumors of Shine's demise swirled, "I pray this is not true, because if it is, that's the total end of the FNC as we know it. Done." Tonight, Hannity declined comment. Shine's replacement is a woman, Suzanne Scott, who's been with Fox from the start.
For years, she enforced Roger Ailes' iron-fisted rule and the misogynistic culture at Fox News. So she comes into this job with women being very skeptical of her management.
A scandal still generating headlines. Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
There's a lot more to tell you about here tonight. Still ahead, Hollywood held hostage. A hacker leaks the new season of a hit Netflix show weeks before it's set to premiere. If ransom demands aren't met, are other shows next? Also, a driver trapped when a semi-truck crushes his car below a highway overpass. First responders racing to rescue him. Stay with us.
Stay with me, Mr. Parker.
When a critical patient is far from the hospital must come to the patient.
Stay with me, Mr. Parker.
The AT&T network is helping first responders connect with medical teams in near real time.
Stay with me, Mr. Parker.
Saving time when it matters most.
Stay with me, Mrs. Parker.
That's the power of and.
Well, finished.